When Antonia Rubio complained to her GP about facial rashes and fatigue, she felt brushed off by doctors who told her she looked too good to be seriously ill. Despite developing a lump on her neck, Antonia still felt her symptoms weren't being diagnosed correctly.
Then, in 2021, Antonia watched Love Island star Demi Jones talking on Good Morning Britain about the importance of pushing for further testing into her own thyroid cancer diagnosis. So Demi was talking about how she'd had that diagnosed. Let's have a look.
My stepdad's got cancer, so I knew that I had to push for appointments. As kept getting cancelled, and I was eventually seen in April. And when I was seen, I had my ultrasound, had my blood tests, both came back absolutely fine. And they went to send me on my way. But I knew because of him that I had to ask for more. So is there any more scanning you can do, testing you can do? And they offered to drain the fluid, and it was that came back as potentially cancerous. If I hadn't asked for that extra testing, I wouldn't have found out if it was cancerous either. So they would have literally just sent me on my way.
Well, that was such an important moment because it inspired Antonia, who was determined not to take no for an answer and was ultimately diagnosed with stage 2 thyroid cancer. And I'm so pleased to say that Antonia joins us now in the studio. Goodness me, well, you look radiant and well now. So first of all, tell me what was going through your mind when you were watching Good Morning Britain and saw you talking.
I think I saw Demi talking, and it was really inspiring because she is so influential to young women, and hearing her talk about how she was dismissed and told she was too young and looked too healthy, it kind of struck a chord in me because that's what I was hearing from other people, and I'd already been ill for a year at that point.
So what were your symptoms then?
So I started having something really rare, anaphylactic shock.
Gosh.
So I lost a lot of weight, I couldn't eat a lot, and then a lump on my throat. Just generally not feeling well. I think the biggest thing I always say to people is that cancer appears differently in everyone. So when you watch these videos, when you watch my videos, when you see Demi's videos, it's always important to remember that this is just a guide. And even if you have these symptoms, it doesn't necessarily indicate cancer, but you should always go and get checked out by a doctor.
And so before you watched Good Morning Britain, you'd been to see doctors already, had you? And what had they said to you?
I was diagnosed with an autoimmune disease called MCAS, so it's called mast cell activation syndrome, and it's really, really rare. And I think the biggest thing for me is it was during COVID. So they thought they'd found an answer and that was it, and I was sent on my way. But I was still really poorly, and I think I had a gut feeling. And then seeing Demi's video, something in me, it just lit a fire, and I knew that something was seriously wrong and I had to get a diagnosis.
And what is that moment? Sorry, Kate. What is that moment? Because I think a lot of people sometimes watch interviews on this show or wherever and will go, oh, I probably should go and get checked out. But a lot of people probably don't. What was the trigger point for you that you went, actually, no, I'm really going to go back now? Because you'd already been to see the doctors. What was that real thing that pushed you to go, right, I'm going to get properly checked out?
I think for me, it was seeing other people my age, and my life looked completely different to that. So everyone's having fun, everyone's full of energy, and I didn't feel that way. I felt like my life was completely... I was disintegrating in front of people.
Demi's story, actually.
Yeah, and that's the thing is, I think that I knew I had cancer, and I know that's a really bold statement to make, but even when I was diagnosed, I was saying, I told you so, I told you so. And I think that's why I've been so passionate about sharing my stories, because I saw Demi's video. One of my best friends who is diagnosed with cancer, same as me, she saw Demi's video, and I kept thinking, if Demi can make that much of an impact, what if I share my story? What if we all share our story? And I think cancer is still a massive taboo, and that's why I wanted to kind of put it out there and say, I'm 24 and I have cancer. It can happen to anyone. Look at the royals this year also getting diagnosed. That's a big thing.
And the key thing always is getting checked out. So when you did go, inspired by seeing Demi, what was the difference in the way you pushed, and what did they find?
I think it's almost like you have to stand up for yourself and being really sure in the way you feel. I always say that no one knows your body better than you do, and that's what I kept reiterating. And I think that's when I got my point across, as saying, I'm not living a normal life of a 24-year-old, and be honest about how you feel. I think a lot of people, they go to the doctor and they take no for an answer. Ask for a second opinion, go to another doctor, and it's not that you have to be rude, but you have to advocate for yourself.
Yeah, can I ask you, if you were to see Demi, you met her, what would you want to say to her? I
think it would just be such a shock, because I've received a message from Demi.
Oh, you have? Oh, you have? Okay.
And also because I met my best friend through Demi. I saw her comment on her video on Instagram, and we met last month, and it was amazing because we had been diagnosed and we were the same age, and I think she doesn't realise the impact she's made, and also meeting other people, it's connected me to to other people, and now I have friends in the community, in the cancer community, and we're all kind of striving towards making a better change for young people.
Well, you haven't met, have you, Demi? You
No.
haven't met the woman who gave you the courage to push for further tests until, may I say, now. Because Demi is right here.
Demi Jones! Come on, Demi, looking back.
I'm so pleased to meet you.
No.
I'm so proud of yourself.
Oh, brilliant. Oh, it's lovely to see you. She's not going to be able to speak now.
And I've just been seeing what you've been saying as well, which is so lovely. So thank you so much. I'm just so proud of you, and everything you've been through is amazing. And all the awareness you're raising is just brilliant. So you should be so proud of yourself.
Did you have any sense, because you were obviously passionate, Debbie, and when you were speaking, you'd been through so much. I guess it's what you're hoping for is what's happened
I know,
with Antonia.
It's crazy.
Yeah, and so when did you know that you'd affected her, or was it, you know, recently?
Yeah, only recently, if I'm honest. When I saw you
was.
working with charities and stuff like that, and I saw your post, I thought, wow, it's amazing. But it is quite humbling every day, even though I've been cancer-free for 3 years now. Every time I go on Instagram, every morning, someone's messaged me, whether like, oh, I've got symptoms, or they're in hospital sending me pictures. So it's just wild that I wake up and see that every day, which is obviously horrible. I don't want anyone to go through that.
No.
But I'm just so pleased of like the domino effect it's having on everyone, and just raising so much awareness.
Antonia, back in the room. Are you with us? Are you with us?
That's so pretty.
She's just looking at you. She's looking going, oh!
I can't believe. I think it's because I've met so many people that you've had an impact on their lives, and I think I was so inspired by you, and I see the effect that I've had on people, and it is a domino effect, and I think that's what the thing is. It's like, it's almost who you know, and that's you're sharing information of real life experiences, and you shared yours, and now I'm sharing mine, and I just can't believe it.
How are you doing now, right now? How are you feeling?
I'm feeling good. I'm quite tired still, but that's quite normal.
Yeah.
But I'm going to be 1 year cancer-free in January.
Amazing. That's
So
brilliant.
getting through it and the journey that you've been on and the treatment that you had to have is obviously not easy.
No.
But there was something in there, wasn't there, that made you think, I can get through this, I know.
Yeah, definitely. I think that's the thing. I know everyone's situation is different, but when I was told I had cancer, it was relief for me because I'd been fighting for answers for so long. And I know not everyone has the same experience, but I think it's really difficult, but also just seeing someone else go through that and be on the other end of it, I think that is kind of what gets you through it. And because a lot of people, I heard the words, I have cancer, and I thought that was the end of my life. And I know now that's not true. Look at what I've done. And I think everyone has that in them. And I urge people, don't wait for something horrible to happen to kind of find that
It seems to me that
strength.
both of you sort of, you know, have treated your health seriously, which is a real message to all of us, really. I think sometimes we take it for granted. I mean, and I think we have got the NHS. For all the problems they're going through, they are there for us. They're brilliant people.
Yeah.
And it takes nothing to just go and get checked up. Even if you have to wait, but just keep on, and in your case, keep on knocking on that door.
Exactly. You're the only person that cares about yourself enough.
Yeah, exactly. But if we don't care about our own health, then what's the point in anything?
That's the thing, is at the end of the day, this is my home. This is the only body I'm ever going to get in this lifetime. So treat it kindly, look after it. That's really important.
That's a really,
very good point. I can see a combination here. You two are a force to be reckoned with. Now you're
How similar you both are as well.
I know, especially because we were diagnosed around the same age.
I know.
Which
That's the thing.
Yeah,
it's
it's
actually
wild.
crazy. And I hear so many young women, and I think that's the thing, is seeing your story, it's really urged a lot of people to go and get diagnosed. So you've helped so many people that you don't even know about.
Amazing. I was just so pleased that you're now. It's so lovely
And Demi,
to see.
what are you up to now? What's going on with your
You know
world?
what? I can't believe it's been 5 years since I've been on Love Island in January, which is just
it's been that
crazy.
long.
That's
I know.
fast.
So it's been amazing. I still do all my content creating and stuff like that. And I've just bought my very first home. So I'm like, yay, I'm going to leave all that. So that's all exciting.
Go
So,
around for Christmas, don't you?
She's coming to Jersey with me. Have you not already heard she's coming on a flight with me?
Oh, you're both amazing. Well done. Great
Brilliant.
story.
So good to see you. And you never know the ripple effect of good that this appearance of the two of you together has done. So thank you so much to both of you.